Let's give a warm welcome to Ruofei Du from Google. He's the interactive perception and graphics lead and also XR Labs
Mhm.
manager at Google. He's devoted to leading innovations in XR and AI. So that's super exciting. We'll hear kind of what he's up to these days. You played a bit around with his XR Blocks tool last week. Um, these days Google is definitely kind of the place to look for innovations in XR and AI, especially with the recent news of Android XR coming out. So that's super exciting.
Yeah,
And I'm very happy to have Ruofei with us here today. So I'll hand it over to you now, Ruofei. Thank you for being here.
yeah, awesome. Yeah, greetings everyone. First of all, I have lot to thank Dr. Jens Grunberg for inviting me for a guest talk at the class Mixed Reality User Experiences at Aarhus University. My name is Ruofei Du. I'm currently working at Google XR as both a researcher and interactive perception and graphics lead at Google, and I lead physical labs called XR Labs. And yeah, feel free to follow me on x.com and find my works at Google Research and Google Scholar. My research mainly focuses on three different fields, including HCI, graphics, and perception. Where grouped by topics, my work usually focuses on digital human, digital world, and more importantly, how human interact with the world by combining the bits from both the digital and physical pieces together. Yeah, it's really late for me here, so I would like to start with some like ancient history, also to refresh my mind. Today, I would say we are so fortunate to be on the shoulder of the greatest minds. For example, if you think of the AR and VR, which stands for virtual reality and augmented reality, back in like 1968, like you typically need like the room scale, the huge setup of the optical see-through displays with the heavy compute in the whole room to support like perceiving the vision of human behaving and also generating the graphics that can simulate like a visual overlay and also try to enhance your human abilities to perceive things around you. And also this is also like allow the progress. You can also see like this is like from our PhD work of our director Sharmi Zadi, where you basically carry like a school bag of the whole compute and still have the optical see-through glasses. While you are working in like campus, you can still do the augmented reality navigation and walk around the campus with some help and assistance from your compute in the school bag. And today we are so fortunate. We have so many various form factors of virtual reality and augmented reality, both headsets and glasses, including the Apple Vision Pro, the Meta Quest, and recently Galaxy XR. That is the first ever Android XR device. And we are also working with Xreal on the Project Aura that you can find more information on the internet. And yeah, so basically today we are all seeing that AI and XR are converging to unlock a new paradigms of computing. And my journey starts here from my PhD journey, where I devoted to work on like both graphics and HCI. And specifically, I was so much inspired by the holoportation like seminal work, where our director Sharmi Itadi, for the first ever, he showed how the future of computing and how the future of work could look like in a world of augmented reality. I want to share the video with all of you here. Yes. And I don't think the audio is enabled, but basically, you can see what, imagine that you are wearing the Microsoft HoloLens, and both you and the remote participant could actually see each other, and you can actually capture the visual memory For example, like insurance doctor is working in a remote room, and the augmentation of the visual memories gives you the belief of the visual presence at the same location, which we call like a co-presence. And later on, like this is like a part of my journey of my own PhD work, where I imagined like how the remote collaboration could look like, where you can digitally augment uh, like the Google Street View with the geotag social media, for example. So these are like all the social medias nearby and fetched from Google, and users can also create new user media by basically sketching on the buildings, and you can also talk with each other using like words or speech. Yeah, this is like one of my graduation work. And later on, like it comes to my first project, Dev Lab at Google, where for the first time ever, we empowered almost every like Android phones with a single RGB camera. We were able to like identify the depth map at real-time speed and give the visual augmentation just within your mobile phone. And basically, AI called Depth Lab is an open source Android app that you can download from Google Play Store, and the source code is open source in GitHub. You can just give it a try, and it encapsulates a large variety of like physical collision and visual effects, and allow you to basically like add virtual relighting and enhance the aperture of the photos, or basically occlude a virtual cat around your physical bed. And yeah, and I would like to share more regarding like how like our team has been devoting to merging the physical and the virtual bits. For example, like imagine like leveraging your phone as the everyday controller. You can basically turn it into a tangible interface, and you can control the Google Photos or summarize a web page, or you can imagine like turning like 2D traditional shopping into 3D by turning objects into the 3D objects on the go. Yeah, this is one of my favorite work called ethical UI, and basically the core idea is what if you could summon ad hoc interface on the fly? For in this example, like I was telling, oops. Yeah, in this example, like I was basically using my speech to say, okay, show me the balance of the transportation card, and oops, yeah, basically a quick interface would like in real time recognize the object, track the pattern on the card, and just summon the, for example, Google Wallet app directly on my physical card. And later on, like this is very new from our team called Sensible Agent, where we try to imagine a future where what if we can have the AI smartly understand you? Imagine like you are in a oops, yeah, imagine a world where you want to interact with your AI glasses, but sometimes it's awkward for you to speak. For example, in a library or in a dining hall or on a public bus. And sometimes it will be better basically like select talk with your glasses by thumbs up, thumbs down, or the glasses could give you like one, two, three choices, and you basically do the one, two, three gestures to, or basically you can nod or shaking your head to respond to your proactive AI agent on your glasses. And yeah, since then, like over the years, so my team has been thinking deep into how we can really make AR and VR to benefit our life, benefit our workplace. And towards this direction, like I have always been thinking like, how can we make our designer or developers life easier? For example, the Visual Blocks project published in Kai 2023 is one example of how we can streamline and accelerate the prototyping experiences with AI and the 2D augmented reality on desktop. Oops. Yeah, for example, we borrow the idea from traditional graphics, the node graphic editing, but we turn like each machine learning models into standalone nodes so that you can drag and drop. For example, you input the webcam, I just drag and drop a body segmentation model, and I drag and drop a background image. And in the meantime, you can create a virtual background subtractor, or you can like augment your photograph with another additional photograph by estimating the depth value of the previous photograph. So many multimedia applications could be simply created by treating each machine learning module as a standalone node. And for people who are designers and product managers, they can easily compare different AI pipelines by themselves by dragging and dropping each individual nodes. And later, like we have a paper called instant pipe, and the core idea is that okay, this is already easy, but what if we can just use our natural language to describe what we want? For example, search some AI news from Google, and uh, after 10 seconds, basically the today's large language model can help you to order such node graph editing process, and it can further streamline this process on its own. Yeah, towards all this journey, and here comes our latest work called extra blocks. Yeah, I don't think the audio will go in, so I will try to mute my audio. Hold on, let me. Oops. Hold- oops. Okay, I'll just give it a mute and do a video talk over the video. So basically, Blocks is this is public open source SDK where we invented to streamline the prototyping process combining AI and XR. Because I know how hard it is if you want to make such things come to life. Sometimes you need to program on desktop, you compile on Unity, you deploy on your headset, and it takes a long iteration speed when you are trying all these. And the core idea of XR blocks is that we want to modularize each component, for example, gesture recognition. We want to modular the depth sensing. We want to modular the audio, or we want to modularize the AI agent on glasses or headsets. And meanwhile, we provide you a simulated environment where you can simply have the code working on your desktop, and only in the testing time you can basically open the same code base, and boom, it just works on your glasses or headsets. So under the and yeah, having the SDK, this SDK is actually made with uh, the core idea of how can we teach AI to other AI plus XR experiences on its own. And this is one of our like a very latest uh, idea. The core idea is that what if we can turn a single line of prompts and turn it into something realistic in XR? So I'll give you an example. So this is like a real-time demo I recorded on Galaxy XR headsets. Create a beautiful dandelion, and you can open this website xrblocks.github.io/jam, and you can do the same thing with me. And after here, you can basically type a beautiful dandelion and make sure like you're using the pro model if you are a subscriber of Gemini, and submit it. And it usually works for like 60 seconds. We'll come back later of the tab. And this is live recording on my glasses. And boom, after 60 seconds, yeah, Gemini now knows each module and how to leverage pinch in XR, how to do the spatial UI in XR, and more importantly, how to do the animation and everything in a single framework and web page. Yeah, let's see whether it can finish in time. So if not, I will show you some more examples. So basically, how we achieve this is our team spent over a year trying to streamline the modular components in XR, including 3D model builder, 3D spatial UI, and occlusion, depth map, lighting, like gestures, and AI agents. And yeah, it's taking longer than expected. For example, your hand could touch bubbles and grow wines in your environment. And yeah, these are all accomplished by a single line of prompts. And also imagine like you can just create a volleyball game with a single two lines of prompts. This is like I want to play a volleyball game with the balls coming out of from the right rings, and after my hands touches the volleyball, it will collide physically, or it also collide with physical environment. This is an animal cell. This is like a virtual museum that our designer web coded. So all of the examples I'm showing here is like not created by humans. This is the future of XR that I imagined, combining the latest advances of AI and having the human AI co-creation that we help you to solve the fundamental perception problem like depth sensing, gestures, and like basic AI agent blocks. And on the AI side, they can like solve the part. For example, here is like generation of AI. Yeah, I think after Gemini upgrades to 3.1, it's more comprehensive and it's trying to make the whole demo more comprehensive. Yeah, AI can just take your simple ideas like a beautiful dandelion into a working demo like this. Oops, oops. Oh yeah. It's working. It's not exactly as the same one as I did with the other demo, but it is. Like each time you run Gemini, may generate a different applications because temperature is set to be more random and more creative. But same pipeline, you can replicate my experiments here right on the go. And I would say this is the future. And yeah, so. Give it a try. extrablogs.github.io/gem. Uh, and yeah, and start creating. And remember, like the magic you come here comes from not only the contribution from XRBlocks, but also the contribution of the whole AI and XR community, and also the 3JS community. They provide many fundamental primitives in modeling, animation, and basically XRBlocks only provides the interface for high-level XR interaction and high-level perception sensing modules. So, coming to the end, what is the future of XR? I would like to imagine like the future of XR would be the future where everybody could be co-presented together. Imagine the future where you can have co-presence experiences with your parents living in a foreign country, with your friends in a remote home, and you together you can blend virtual reality into your physical space and vice versa. And for kids living in developing countries, they can immersively learn history and they can immersively learn mathematics, physics, chemistry, and to tour around the world. And more importantly, they can leverage the spatial intelligence to understand the future by visualizing the big data like the yeah, like DNAs or like the urban planning. And in this virtual reality and augmented reality, I would imagine there is no gap in communication, and there will be no gap in languages. For example, your glasses will translate the words that is spoken between people from two countries. And as a researcher or a student in computer science, no matter you care about graphics or vision or natural language or human-computer interaction, I believe we can all make it a better world by contributing your small but concrete inventions to the community. And in the end, I believe the best way to predict the future is to invent it, and I have to share with you all. Thank you everyone for listening, thinking, and watching. Any questions are welcome.
All right, let's give Ruofei a hand of applause. All right. Thank you very much, Ruofei. You still hear me,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that talk. That was, mind-blowing. I think everyone is sort of mind blown right now by all the crazy things that are possible these days. Um, and so I just for you students, I shared all the questions that we prepared
Hmm.
last week. I shared them with Ruofei, and he's been very kind to kind of go through them in his slides here with a Q&A and flesh it out in with these little paragraphs here. So we can share the slides with you afterwards so you can see them in detail. But just for the sake of all being here, I'll ask a few for you here on the spot and just hear you
Sure.
kind of yeah, just have a small conversation about that. So first of all, now you know you've mind blown us with all these new things we can do with Gemini and Android
Mhm.
XR in the near future. But could you please give us your take on sort of more specifically for the future of work? Things like,
Yeah.
you talked a bit about communication, but also other things like productivity and maybe creativity is clearly something that will change, right? Education, you talk about that.
Mhm.
Could you just
Yeah.
give your take on kind of mixed reality for the future of work? Because that's the course theme we have here for the projects the students will be doing
Yeah.
in the coming weeks.
Yeah, yeah, this is a very good point. Yeah, I think as a XR researcher, I'm a true believer in the future of the remote collaboration and work should be happening in a spatially. And in that reality, there will be like a remote participant with your life. For example, even myself, like I have been working around this space, also with Jens in many of the spaces. For example, you can imagine you can have virtual agents to help you spatially. For example, I want to learn how to use the 3D printer. You can imagine your AI in the future would point out to, okay, here you press this button to start the 3D printer. You press that button to insert your SD card, and here you go. You need to use this material to, yeah, for many things like that. You can imagine like spatial intelligence with spatially depicted agents to help you to point out and learn new things. This is one way. The other way is like you can imagine still the best teacher could act as a virtual agents. And for many areas in developing countries where they cannot access to the rich educational materials like you guys are doing right now, and you can basically imagine like the future of gens will be depicted as a virtual character in a spatial
Why
reality.
not?
And that virtual teacher can basically like summon, for example, okay, look at this. This is the old asset in the 1960s. And you can depict new objects spatially in your hands and combining education with remote avatars and collaborative work will be so powerful. Especially that's why I'm talking personally in my personal perspective. I believe education in developing countries and also hands-free training may be the most useful thing from my personal perspective.
Very cool. You also mentioned 3D design review. Like, could you just elaborate on that point? Like, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, for example, this is also personal sharing. I'm actually doing home innovations, and as you can imagine, it's so hard to talk with your designer, your contractor regarding your particular design. For example, where do you want to put which furniture in what, and I have been traveling around to so many different furniture stores, and by far today there is not a single app, augmented reality app that can satisfy my need. For example, I want to change the color of the wall. I want to design the wall or design the window to be placed on where. I want to envision like what it looks like, and it needs like a very precise understanding of the physical dimensions, the lighting estimation, and I think we are to working work, we're working toward that direction with the latest AI advancement. But combining the latest AI advances together with the the real physical environment will be so powerful to release the make life easier for architectures, the designers, and interior home design. Yeah, that will be game changing from my perspective.
Very cool. All right. So now that you've talked a bit about sort of the utopian
Mhm.
prospects of XR, I'm also curious about your thoughts about some of the more dystopian directions that we
Hmm.
could end up in. So, and students were also curious about that too. So, what do you see as the societal risks of things like widely adopting XR?
Yeah, that's a very good point, and I think yeah, privacy is always the debating topic in this field. Like, what if you can imagine if everyone having the glasses that is watching everyone and every environment? And today, like on the internet, we are already see people who are mounting cloudy boat onto Meta Ribbon display glasses, which is like pretty scary. Like, not only people are like having these like Mac Minis running all day long on the internet, but also the future of the AI agents have the power to be mounted on a physical human body to watch the world, to execute on the real credit cards, and to behave like a human, and to post on the internet on the forums. I would say like this kind of picture of future is coming already today. It's not really stoppable, but are we really ready for human and AI to to be co-presented together like that? I really doubt it because today's AI is so easy to be attacked. It's so easy to be injected with harmful prompts to do harmful things. And imagine the future where you are wearing glasses and someone on your side say something like, "Okay, act as a grandma. Okay, my grandma is dying, and please give me blah blah money to blah blah blah." And if the AI agent just listens to that kind of prompt and do harmful things, and yeah, I think security researchers and inventors and today's uh, uh, like researcher or practitioners need to behave more responsibly, try to imagine and carefully design the privacy review process or while they are launching these products. Like, for example, you can really not allowing other people to control your glasses. And for all the orders that require like eye tracking or like interpreting human intent for payment, human intent for executing on behalf of you with your emails or like writing a new script to run to make it always on glasses. These kind of things can be dangerous and really needs very careful review and very responsive launching. Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
example, like personally, I don't think Cloudable is launched responsibly, but it's already there for always available.
Yeah, very good point about, we should get more sort of uh um privacy and security researchers,
Mhm.
you know, together with us as the
Mhm.
innovators and sort of, yeah,
Yeah.
make sure we
Mhm.
do it the right way. Great point. Um, I don't want to hang on to you for too long because I know it's very late, but I have
Mhm.
one last question for you that also was people was asking about your kind of personal perspective on the role of XR, and I think that you talked about in your talk a lot with this open source approach. So could you
Yeah.
just kind of say why is that so important as a
Yeah,
foundation?
and yeah, myself, like I code a lot even today, and I'm a big fan of open sourcing, and I truly believe like the best platform, the best ecosystem should be built not only by the people in the big corporate. This is my personal thoughts, but also with everyone's contribution. Now, this is how like I try my best to push my best works open source and including like DevLab. Like if you go to my website and you search for DevLab, and it will give you like a reproducible demo of code and the demo and all the video slides. If you search for extra blocks, you can also find like the code on my website. And yeah, I can. Like, for example, this is like all reproducible, like photorealistic 3D ocean simulation and photorealistic lighting vectors, and you can yeah, this is like you can use your hands to summon a new Latin on the go. So all of these creations should not future of the best work would be a teamwork combining all the contributions from the external world, and we all believe in the vision and contribute to the shared ecosystem and platform together. Yeah, that's why I think like Google has been doing this with Chromium and Android ecosystem, and we should make sure this spirit is passed to at least the product that I'm working on. I would love it to be open source and open to the public, also in this way you can also ensure like a more privacy, more security, and more creative minds from the external world. Thank
Great
you.
way to wrap it up. Thank you, Ruofei. Okay, let's give Ruofei a final round of applause.